that is a crucial and forward-looking discussion. Artificial intelligence, AI, presents both a massive opportunity for Africa to leapfrog traditional development stages and a significant risk of widening the existing global technology gap, the thermostat you mentioned. The conversation for Africa must shift from passively consuming AI to actively producing and tailoring AI solutions to its unique local challenges. Here is a strategic breakdown of how Africa can harness AI for development and the critical challenges that must be addressed to close the gap. Africa's opportunity, leapfrogging with AI. Unlike developed nations, which often use AI to optimize existing robust systems, Africa can use AI to solve fundamental systemic development failures. The potential contribution of AI to the African economy is estimated to be over $1.2 trillion by 2030. 1. Transforming core sectors. Sector. AI application. Development impact. Agriculture. Precision farming. AI-driven drones and sensors monitor soil health, predict pests, and optimize water and fertilizer use, drastically improving yields for smallholder farmers and combating food scarcity. Healthcare. Remote diagnostics. AI analyzes medical images, X-rays, scans, to detect diseases like cancer or eye disease in rural areas lacking specialist doctors, improving early diagnosis and reducing mortality. Financial services. Financial inclusion. AI-powered credit scoring and fraud detection enable mobile money platforms to offer loans and financial services to millions of unbanked people who lack traditional credit histories. Education. Personalized learning. AI platforms can assess a student's knowledge gaps and tailor educational content to their specific needs and pace, scaling quality education across large, under-resourced schools. 2. Ethical and geopolitical sovereignty. AI is a tool for data sovereignty. By building local AI models, African nations can retain control over their citizens' data, ensuring that the technology reflects local languages, cultures, and ethical values, avoiding algorithmic colonization. The AI development gap core challenges. Africa currently ranks the lowest globally in AI readiness indices. Without deliberate action, this gap risks becoming a new era of divergence that reverses decades of economic convergence. 1. Infrastructure and resources. Connectivity and power. Nearly 40% of Africans lack internet access. AI requires high-speed internet, data centers, and, crucially, reliable and affordable electricity, infrastructure that is lacking in many areas. Computing power. Developing cutting-edge AI requires immense computing power, e.g., cloud services, supercomputers, which is expensive and currently concentrated outside the continent, leading to dependence on foreign providers. 2. Talent and data. Skills gap. Few African universities offer comprehensive, dedicated AI-focused programs. This shortage of skilled professionals leads to a significant brain drain, as top talent often leaves for better-funded opportunities abroad. Data scarcity and bias. AI models require huge amounts of high-quality data. Africa generates only a fraction of global data, and the data that is used is often skewed towards Western contexts. This leads to biased models that struggle to understand African languages or specific cultural contexts. 3. Policy and governance. Lack of frameworks. Many African nations are lagging in developing comprehensive AI policies and regulatory frameworks covering data privacy, algorithmic accountability, and ethical deployment. Without these rules, they risk being passive consumers or testing grounds for foreign firms without adequate consumer protection. Bridging the gap, the way forward. To close the gap, Africa needs a coordinated, integrated strategy focused on localizing the technology. 1. Massive investment in human capital. Education reform. Integrate coding, data science, and AI literacy into all levels of the education system. Centers of excellence. Establish regional AI research centers, like the African Masters of Machine Intelligence program, to attract, train, and retain local talent. 2. Strategic infrastructure development. Data sovereignty. Focus on building and retaining local datasets, particularly in local languages, to train African-centric models. Cloud and energy investment. Prioritize public-private partnerships to build secure, locally owned data centers and stabilize energy grids to power them. 3. Localizing AI solutions. Focus on local needs. direct research and startup funding toward AI solutions that solve African problems, e.g., using AI for disease outbreak prediction or mapping informal settlements, rather than replicating Western applications. African AI Blueprint. Regional bodies like the African Union and Smart Africa need to finalize and implement unified continental strategies to harmonize policy and foster collaboration across borders. By treating AI not just as a technology but as a tool for sovereignty and sustainable development, Africa can not only catch up but also define a more ethical and inclusive future for AI globally. This is the critical, existential question facing Africa today. If the continent fails to embrace and develop its own AI capabilities, becoming a passive consumer rather than an active producer, the consequences will be severe, leading to a new and dangerous era of divergence that could reverse decades of development gains. The fate of Africa, without AI, would likely be defined by a widening gap across all major pillars of development: economic, social, and political. Here is a breakdown of the likely consequences. 1. Economic stagnation and deepened poverty. Without AI as a growth engine, Africa's economic potential would be severely capped, making it increasingly difficult to meet the needs of its rapidly growing population. Failure to leapfrog AI offers the chance to skip legacy infrastructure, like fixed phone lines, and jump straight to optimized digital systems, like mobile banking. Without AI, sectors like finance, logistics, and supply chain management remain inefficient, shackled by manual processes, and unable to compete globally. The cost of inefficiency: African economies would forfeit the potential $1.20 to $1.5 trillion boost to GDP projected by 2030 that AI is expected to provide, remaining highly reliant on volatile commodity exports. Loss of global competitiveness: developed nations will use AI to achieve massive productivity gains, e.g., automated manufacturing, hyper-efficient logistics. African industries, reliant on traditional low-cost labor, will lose their only competitive advantage as automation becomes cheaper than labor, even in low-wage environments. Investment diversion: global investors will favor regions where advanced technologies and robust digital infrastructure allow for the highest returns. Capital and foreign direct investment, FDI, would be diverted away from Africa, financing AI accumulation in advanced economies. 2. Widening social divides and deteriorating public services. The core challenges Africa faces, food security, health, and education, would become significantly harder to solve without AI. Worsening food insecurity: without AI-driven precision agriculture, AI-guided drones, soil sensors, climate-smart farming, African agriculture will remain highly vulnerable to climate change and manual inefficiency, failing to solve the food crises. Stalled healthcare: AI is essential for remote diagnostics, predicting disease outbreaks, and personalizing treatment in areas lacking specialists. Without it, the vast disparity in healthcare access and quality between urban centers and rural villages will remain critical. Exacerbated digital divide: low AI adoption would be the result of and the cause of a deeper digital divide. Countries that fail to establish the necessary infrastructure, power, high-speed internet, data centers, will fall further behind, leaving their populations marginalized from the global digital economy. 3. Technological and political dependency. A lack of indigenous AI capacity results in a loss of sovereignty and increasing dependency on foreign tech powers. Technological colonialism: African nations would be relegated to being passive consumers of AI models built and trained in the West or East. These models are trained on foreign data, often lack local context, African languages, cultural nuances, and contain inherent biases that can perpetuate social injustices, e.g., biased facial recognition, discriminatory loan algorithms. Data extraction: the data generated by African users would continue to be collected, processed, and monetized by foreign tech companies, fueling the global AI industry elsewhere without tangible local benefit. This is a form of digital resource exploitation that mirrors historical resource extraction. Weakened governance. AI is becoming an essential tool for public service delivery, fighting corruption, and improving urban planning. Without it, governments will struggle to implement effective, data-driven policies to manage complex and rapidly growing populations. Conclusion. The fate of Africa without AI is not one of merely standing still, but of falling dangerously behind. The AI revolution is accelerating global convergence for those who participate, but for those who do not, it risks triggering a severe divergence that locks the continent into a cycle of structural underdevelopment and deepened dependency. The imperative for Africa is to act now, focusing on 1. Talent development, training the next generation of African data scientists and AI engineers. 2. Infrastructure, investing in stable power and high-speed, affordable internet access. 3. Ethical governance, establishing robust local policies to ensure AI is built ethically and serves local needs. It is a choice between a future of leapfrogging or a future of lingering in the analog past.